We have not yet started presenting evidence.
Hindi na dapat natin ipagkatiwala.
At alangan namang multo, iniwan mo ba sa...
To decide this case on the basis.
Kumanelalize po natin!
We are here because one man, Justice Renato Corona, was bartered away for the pots of porridge, the effectiveness, independence, and honor of the Supreme Court. Malinaw po, kung gusto natin ng hustisya, hindi na dapat natin ipagkatiwala kay Chief Justice Corona ang pinakamataas na pwesto sa Judikatura.
We have not yet started presenting evidence in that regard. So how can there be an evaluation, an appraisal, and conclusion? I hope you clear it. I hope as a judge in this case, Your Honor, I will plead most respectfully that kindly receive the evidence with an open mind. My objection is this: you are making a summation of facts, but solely on the basis in favor of one party. Why? Because there is no evidence yet on the part. We have never discussed about this deposits, Your Honor. So the only concept that you have is the concept coming from the prosecution's evidence, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, I'm Hontiveros, and this is the Corona impeachment trial, a Solar News special. The impeachment trial of Chief Justice Renato Corona resumes on May 7 after the Senate went on a 1.5-month-long break. The prosecution panel presented evidence for Articles 2, 3, and 7 and dropped Articles 1, 4, 5, 6, and 8 from the impeachment complaint. When trial resumes on Monday, the defense panel will continue presenting evidence for Article 2, which alleges the non-disclosure of the Chief Justice's statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth. Today, the prosecution and the defense will give us updates before the impeachment court convenes once again. We'll also have analysts to give us the general perception of the public on the trial. Student leaders will also be joining us, and we'll be given a chance to interact with our guest analysts. The prosecution presented records on Chief Justice Renato Corona's bank accounts to show that he had much more cash than what he declared in his statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth. Ina Andolong gives us details of Corona's bank deposits as presented in the trial.
Proving that Chief Justice Renato Corona failed to properly disclose his statements of assets, liabilities, and net worth, the prosecution showed records on his bank accounts, at least 5 with PS Bank and 1 with the Bank of the Philippine Islands. The total of the accounts' ending balances greatly exceeded what Corona declared in his SAL-ends. In 2010, Corona's declared cash stood at 3.5 million pesos. But based on records presented in the trial, he had over 31 million pesos in his accounts. Similar discrepancies were seen in 2009, when his declared cash was at 2.5 million pesos. Evidence showed him having over 9 million pesos in his bank accounts. 2007 was no different. Corona's declared cash at that time also stood at 2.5 million pesos, but his bank records showed him having over 10 million pesos.
The prosecution in
Prosecutors rested their case against Corona with a reservation that they may still be eventually allowed to open his alleged dollar accounts.
Respondent Chief Justice Renato Corona for Article 2.
It was also revealed that on December 12 last year, the day he was impeached, Corona closed and withdrew all his money from 3 accounts with PS Bank, amounting to over 36 million pesos. The Chief Justice admitted he did this because he lost trust with the bank. This, however, contradicts PS Bank President Pascual Garcia's testimony, saying that after withdrawing the money, Corona transferred the funds to a checking account he had opened in July 2011. The defense has so far presented evidence showing that Corona had more income than what the prosecution claims. His lawyers say Corona received over 21 million pesos in salaries and allowances from 2002 to 2010. The defense also presented records pertaining to the salary of Corona's wife Cristina, who they say earned over 6 million pesos from 2007 to 2010 when she was still with the John Hay Management Corporation.
The testimony of Jose L. Atienza is offered to prove that Basa Guidote Enterprises owned at least one parcel of land in Sampaloc, Manila.
The last days of the trial before the month-and-a-half-long break ended with the defense establishing that Corona's wife sold a property of her family's firm, Basa Guidote Enterprises Incorporated, to the city of Manila for over 34 million pesos. Ina Andalong, Solar News.
Documents pertaining to Chief Justice Renato Corona's multi-million peso properties were also presented in the first half of the trial. Ina Andalong returns with this report.
Chief Justice Renato Corona declared 5 properties in his 2010 Statement of Assets, Liabilities, and Net Worth. The prosecution, however, claims Corona and his wife Cristina owns a total of 21 properties, all of which they say should have been declared. These include 6 properties in Taguig, with 1 under the name of Corona's daughter Charina, a lot in Marikina with 7 titles, which the defense says was sold to Corona's cousin Demetrio Vicente, a unit at the Columns Makati, and 7 properties in Quezon City. On top of not declaring most of these properties, the prosecution claims the 5 properties in Corona's 2010 SAL-N were under-declared. Corona declared his penthouse unit at the Bellagio in Taguig with an assessed value of 3.5 million pesos and a current fair market value of 6.8 million pesos. The prosecution, however, says its real value is 14.5 million pesos. More evidence showed similar alleged misdeclarations for the other properties, including Corona's condominium unit at the Burgundy Plaza in Quezon City, the Columns in Makati, and the Bonifacio Ridge also in Taguig. The defense, however, argued that Corona did not misdeclare his properties because what he declared in his SAL-N are assessed and current fair market values. They say what the prosecution is insisting on are the property's acquisition costs, which Corona's lawyers say are usually higher. Corona's camp also insists not all 21 properties should be declared